Hello and welcome everybody. We're excited to meet with you today. We're the University of Oregon and the Lundquist College of Business. My name is Jared Barlow. I'm the Executive Director of Admission. And with me today presenting is Tristan. Tristan, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, thanks, Jared. My name is Tristan Norbert. I'm a graduate recruiter for the Sports Product Management as well as our MBA program. And I'm so excited to be here to talk to you about both programs.
Thanks, Tristan. We're excited to talk to you today about two of our main sports programs, our graduate degree programs. First, we're going to talk about our sports product management program, and also we're going to talk about an MBA with a sports business specialization. Then we'll talk about some application tips as well. And so with that, Tristan, let's get it started with sports product management.
Great, thanks, Jared. I'm so excited to be talking to you about the SPM program. The SPM program started in 2015, so it's still a fairly young program, but it's a cross-disciplinary program born from the industry, coupled with academia, to provide our students with an opportunity to be the next leaders in sports and outdoor apparel industry. As you can see here below, our core values are innovation, sustainability, and global perspectives. So there's truly a crossroad in this program. And so this program was intended to grow to serve the industry. So our founder here is Ellen Schmidt-Devlin, working in our lab and working with some students. So you're probably wondering, how do we do this? This program is offered in two formats: our full-time Portland-based program, which is north of Eugene, about an hour and a half, as well as a part-time online hybrid program, which I'll talk more about the two differences between the programs a little bit later. But I want to talk to you about our approach and how do we make this program come to be to support you to grow your career. As I said, this program is a Master's of Science in Sports Product Management. And what that means is truly a cross-disciplinary program, providing you with the know-how of how product is built from the very beginning insights phase to taking it to market. And we take you through all the different processes of learning how product is made, through the business aspects with the hands-on aspect of it. And there's truly nothing like making it yourself. And so we have a state-of-the-art lab in Portland, Oregon, that'll allow you to understand how a shoe is made, how a garment is made, how it's fitted. And for our online program, we also have experiential term kits where you'll have an opportunity to have these things sent to you and work with our instructors via Zoom to learn how this product is made. You also get an opportunity to be a part of the lab. And this is just one thing that makes us unique. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about all the different aspects that make our program unique. I talked about our discipline curriculum. Next, in that lab that I showed you earlier, you have an opportunity to kind of build a team project from the initial ideation phase to working with a factory and learning how a product is put together and taking it to market. Next, we have international trips. As I mentioned earlier, one of our core values is the global perspective. This is truly a global industry, so it's important to have that experience and learn how the international landscape plays a factor in this industry. Next, you saw the picture of our innovation lab. It's truly a state-of-the-art lab. We've had many people that work in the industry kind of just drop their jaw when they see all the different machines available to our students. Next is mentors. We have an extensive network here in Portland, Oregon, and have an opportunity to connect you directly with the industry, where you'll be paired up with somebody to be able to talk to them about your experience, the industry itself, and just understanding their role that they play within the organization they're working in. Next are industry instructors. So many of our instructors come directly from the industry itself, whether they're currently working for a company or they previously worked for a company. We have many different companies based out here, so there's quite a talent pool where our instructors kind of are working full-time and then coming teaching you part-time. So it's a truly unique setup there. Next is we have a leadership plan where you have an opportunity to kind of hone in specifically where you want to go. So, you're going to learn how all of product is made, but then you'll have an opportunity through this leadership plan, through your mentorship, through your team project to hone in on where you see yourself specifically in the industry. Lastly, because this program is born from the industry, it's so important for us to remain connected to the industry itself and constantly think about how our program is evolving to support you to be the next leaders. And so that's where our advisory board comes in. We have many different leaders in sports apparel helping us think about our curriculum. How are we continuing to grow and develop? Next, I just want to talk to you a little bit about the two programs themselves and just kind of give you kind of a comparison between the two. The curriculum isn't the same. The instructors are the same. The only difference is the delivery itself. So our online program is offered, what we typically think is a student in our online program is full-time working professionals or individuals. Unfortunately, just moving to Portland is not an option for them. And that's how our online program came to be. The one thing I do want to highlight here is the international trips. So with our full-time program, you go on 2 international trips, one to Germany to attend ISPO, which is the largest sports apparel expo in the world. And then also you go to Southeast Asia to visit some factories and see the manufacturing side of the industry. With our online program, you go on one of those international trips, plus you do 4 residencies where you have an opportunity to come to Portland and experience the culture and the community that SPM has to offer here and work in our lab and be a part of your team and get a chance to really develop that richness of the community itself. I imagine now at this point you're wondering, Tristan, this all sounds great. Where could I see myself once I graduate? These are just a few of the companies that our alum have gone to work in. Over 90% of our graduates are working in the industry in some capacity. So as you can see, whether it's in product line management, product development, innovation, these are the few of the areas where our students go and start their career. Lastly, I want to talk to you about just preparing the application. So these are the steps here that you would take in order to prepare your application. What I would strongly encourage is, if you're thinking about applying, please connect with me directly. I'll be happy to walk you through these, answer any questions you might have. One thing to note is we don't require a GMAT or a GRE if you had above a 3.0. And if you had below a 3.0, we do have a waiver process that you would need to connect with me in order to complete, so you don't have to take a GMAT or a GRE. Lastly, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the admissions process. So for our 18-month full-time program, as well as our 21-month online program, the classes begin at the end of September. And if you're ready to apply, you can see our deadlines here and you can connect with me and I'll be happy to discuss those with you and be able to support you in the process, because that's what I'm here to do. So if you're ready to connect, here's my information. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Connect with our social media accounts. We have many networking events, industry events, just being a part of our community and learning more about us to see if it's the right program for you. And I look forward to being in touch. So I'll pass it off to Jared to talk about our MBA program.
Thanks, Tristan. The Sports Product Management program is a great program. Now, along with that program, we have 3 other programs down in the Eugene area you may be interested in. We have a Master's of Accounting, a Master of Science in Finance, and then our MBA. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about the MBA today, because that's the one that's really tied to sports business here in Eugene, Oregon. So here in Eugene, Oregon, which is about an hour and a half south of Metro Portland, you have the option to do a full-time MBA, which is a 2-year program, or a 1-year accelerated program, which can be done in 9 or 15 months. So it's impacted. You can do it in a shorter amount of time. You can get in, do your classwork, and then graduate. Now you can see the main differences here between the programs. I'm not going to highlight all of it, but you can see that obviously with the 2-year program, you have 24 courses versus the one-year accelerated, you only have 15 courses to complete. And obviously that would translate into the number of credit hours increases for a 2-year program versus a 1-year. Where they really differ is in the core business classes that are required to graduate. In the full-time 2-year program, it requires 9 core business classes to really give you a strong foundation in business before you start taking your sports business or specialization courses. With the 1-year accelerated, we assume that you already have a strong foundation in business, whether that's through experience, as well as a bachelor's degree in either business, economics, or STEM. So you can dive right into electives and do a deep dive into a focus area or specialize in sports business courses to really advance your career to take you to that next step, or pivot in kind of a geographic area, industry into sports, or maybe your job function that you're going to be doing. And so the only main requirement for the programs is a 4-year undergraduate bachelor's degree or equivalent. So accredited university must be 4-year equivalent. And so if you have or want to do the 2-year program, you can have any background. You could do business, you could do arts, humanities, science, engineering, any 4-year degree. However, with the 1-year accelerated, you do need to have a bachelor's degree in business, economics, or STEM. Again, because you're skipping those core foundational quantitative classes and just diving right into electives, we want to make sure that you have a strong foundation before you get started. And we do have some other offerings. We do have some concurrent degrees. A lot of students like to do a master's of finance with our MBA program. So in 2 years, you can graduate with 2 degrees, an MBA and a master's of science in finance. And you can still do a specialization in sports business. You're going to have a lot of classes, but a lot of students like to do that is they're fitting in everything into that 2 years and graduating with 2 degrees. So let's take a quicker look at what does the 2-year program look like. So again, here are the 9 core classes you're going to take spread out through the 2 years in the full-time MBA. Again, you'll see you need a 4-year degree as the requirement. And here's what the sample schedule looks like. This is what a fall schedule would look like. You're going to take about 6 classes at a time. Classes are usually Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. during the week. And Fridays are left for experiential learning, working with your team, talking with future employers, doing interviews, working on your career, or working with faculty. So Fridays are free for all that fun stuff. Now, let's look at our 1-year program. Again, the 1-year program only has 1 required class, which is business law and ethics. And then you take 14 other electives into either sports business or electives that are going to help pivot your career into one of those areas, right? And so it does require a business, economics, or STEM degree. But if you've got that foundation, then the 1-year accelerated, either 9 or 15 months, may be the best option for you. So again, because it's in a short amount of time, you're taking 6 classes at a time, anywhere between 5 and 6. If you do it in 9 months, because that's a short amount of time, you got to fit those 15 classes in. So this is what a sample schedule would look like between Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you may have your weekly sports business seminar, which we'll talk about. But if you do it in 9 months, you're going to do it in 3 terms, start in the fall and you end in the spring. You graduate in June. Versus if you do option 2, it allows you to do a summer internship, which is fantastic because employers want some more experience. Then you come back in the fall for 1 more term and you can graduate in 15 months. You would graduate in December. Great options. Now, all of our students do have an academic advisor to help you along that path to make the right decision. So not only do you have Tristan and myself to help coach you, as you're going through choosing whether the sports product management program is the best, or maybe the sports specialization as part of an MBA is the best program. We'll coach you on that, but then you have an academic advisor to help schedule all your core classes as you see here, but also your elective classes, which you'll see here. So these are some of the electives that are required. So sports product marketing, sports properties, sports sponsorship and alliance, the economics of sports, marketing and research, sports business seminar. This seminar is unique to the University of Oregon. Every week that you're in the program, whether you do the 9-month, 15-month, or the 2-year program, every Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m., you're going to meet with industry leaders, those that are the best in their fields from the world of sports, and discuss what's going on in the world of sports. You'll maybe have guest speakers, you maybe have companies or brands coming in to talk, or industry leaders that'll come share their knowledge with our students. It's a great opportunity to network, really make connections inside of the world of sports. And then on top of that, you're going to have a strategic planning project during the last 2 terms of your program. And this is a chance to really connect with industry leaders and actually work for an organization, a brand, a team, or a league as part of your MBA program. And so last year or in years past, we've worked with sports teams like the Portland Trailblazers or the Seattle Sounders soccer team. Students have worked with the U.S. Olympic team or U.S. Olympic Committee on special projects. People like Fox Sports West and different industry leaders in the world of sports and do a 2-term consulting project with them. And then you take a host of other electives that you get to pick from. But other things that set us apart and make us unique are these 5 key areas, and let's talk about them. The first being the centers of excellence. Centers of excellence are physical places on campus inside of the business building that are connected to industry. And so the Warsaw Sports Marketing Center we'll talk about has been inside of the business school, tied to the business school, and we've been operating for over 26 years now as leaders within the world of sports and marketing. And so it really is your connection to the world of sports through that physical place on campus where you can meet with other individuals, hang out, work on team projects, and really connect to the industry. Now, those centers of excellence lead us into our 5 specializations that we offer. The key of which, our most popular, is sports business, right? And that's what the iWorkinSport event is all about. We also have other key specializations in finance and securities analysis, sustainable business practices, and innovation and entrepreneurship. Those 4 are tied to centers of excellence. The other one that you might be able to do or might be interested in is advanced strategy and leadership, which is a great way to pair with other specializations. Now, on top of our specializations, what sets us apart is our rankings. We're the number 5 green MBA in the US. This year, we were the number 3. We're super excited about that. We're the number 1 true sports business MBA here in the United States and on the West Coast. So if you want sports business, the University of Oregon is synonymous with sports. We're also really well known for alumni and startup organizations and a top 10 financial value here on the West Coast. So we're excited about our rankings and accreditation. Another thing that sets us apart are our faculty. We have a very small, tight-knit program. There's only 50 to 60 students in our full-time program. So you really get to connect with your faculty and really build relationships. And our faculty are what set our program apart because you can really build those relationships. One of my favorite things to talk about, though, is the experiential opportunities. Experience these hands-on things. Just like with the sports product management program up in Portland, here in Eugene, we take experiential learning seriously. And so it's built into everything that we do. And so from your strategic planning project and doing consulting work, or every first week of every term, we go visit different organizations in key cities. So for example, the first week of the fall term, we usually visit Portland area and talk with the Portland Trailblazers, maybe the North Face, Adidas, Under Armour, Nike. We meet with organizations and alumni at those companies. Then in the winter term, we usually go up to Seattle. We'll visit with Lumen Field. So we'll visit the Seattle Sounders, Seattle Seahawks, T-Mobile, Microsoft, Amazon, and we'll find out what they're doing in the world of sports. Then our students go on case competitions, and we do an international trip every year. In the bottom right, you can see a picture of our students as they visited the Great Wall of China. But beyond that, we partner with great organizations, which we won't mention them all, but here's a few. But where we want to see you is part of our alumni network. So we have this saying, once a duck, always a duck, and that holds true. And that's what makes the Oregon program unique. Our alumni want to give back to students and connect them to the industry of sports. And you can do that through the Oregon MBA, the specialization in sports business. So we've talked a lot about a lot of different things. So now you're going, well, how do I apply? So our job, Tristan and I, will help you stand out from the crowd. So there's a 2-part application process for the Oregon MBA. There's the Lundquist College of Business app, then the graduate school app, and maybe an interview. So these are the parts that are part of the Lundquist College of Business. We may ask for a GMAT or GRE, but you can request a waiver, just like with the SPM program. But then you'll do your graduate school application. And then once both of those are done, we'll work with you on those next steps. So these are averages. This is what the average class profile looks. These are not minimums. These are just averages, so you can see what the profile looks like. Now, when to apply? We have some upcoming deadlines. So if you're interested in applying, please reach out to Tristan and let us know. We'll be happy to work with you one-on-one. So here's how to get in touch with us. We're excited to meet you today. Come check out our booth. We're super excited to have you join, hopefully, one of the University of Oregon graduate programs. Thank you.